Good morning. This is Rick Berscheid, the District Conservationist with NRCS with your Conservation Report. Today, I would like to talk to you about fall dormant seedings. It's getting to be that time of the year when fall dormant seedings can begin. Dormant seedings are recommended to be completed on or after November 1st. This date is the average date when the soil temps reach that 50-degree mark. You can complete a fall dormant seeding prior to this date if the soil temps reach a constant temp of 50 degrees or are less than 50 degrees. This year, with the fall warm weather that we've been having, soil temps are not quite at 50 degrees, but they are very close. The 6-inch soil temp in Paynesville on October 28th was just below 51 degrees. Due to the recent precipitation that we've been receiving, the soil temp has dropped 3 degrees here in the last few days. The 10-day forecast is calling for high temps in the mid-50s and low temps in the upper 30s and lower 40s, so I expect that soil temp to be right at that 50-degree mark here shortly. At this temp, the seeds in the fall dormant seeding should not germinate and start growing yet this year. Dormant seedings are a very good option for sites that are wet or are very difficult to get into in the spring. Before completing a fall dormant seeding, good site preparation needs to be completed. If you plan to choose to do conventional tillage, then prepare a firm seed bed at least 3 inches deep. Native seedings should be planted at a depth of 1/4 to 1/2 inch deep. To achieve this, the soil may need to be firmed up before running the drill across it with a cultipacker. The soil should be firm enough that when you walk across it, your footprint does not sink in more than 1/4 to 1/2 inch. When it's this firm, you've achieved a good site prep for the seeding. If you plan to no-till right into crop residue, such as soybean stubble, then site prep is not needed before doing the seeding. If you are planning to seed the area after completing conventional site prep and broadcasting the seed, then dragging the seed into the soil, it is recommended that you use a rate of 1.5 times the drill rate. The increased rate is due to some of the seed getting buried too deep when you drag it in and some of the seed being left on the soil surface. Native plantings completed in the fall favor the forbs or the flowers in the mix more than the grasses. Native plantings completed in the fall favor the forbs more so than the grasses in the mix. Forbs typically have a higher rate of a hard seed coat than the grasses, and sitting over winter, going through a cold stratification period will help soften up those seed coats, which will make it more likely that those seeds will germinate the following spring and start growing that first year. However, there's one drawback with completing a fall dormant seeding, and this is the increased need to complete good weed control the following year. Since there will be no herbicide burn down or tillage the following spring to control the weeds in the new planting, since it's already been done in the fall, the seeding will need to be clipped early on in the spring to help control the weeds. We'll want to clip those weeds to make sure they don't go to seed and to open up that canopy cover. And more than likely, the area will need to be clipped multiple times throughout that first growing year. It is very important that we do a very good job on weed control that first year if you want to have a good successful planting. If the weeds get out of control, then it's very hard to bring that site back and have a good established planting. However, with a little bit of good planning and completing the site prep, timing the seeding to be at or below that 50-degree mark, and a good weed control strategy the following year, a dormant seeding can be very successful. After all, this is when nature seeds itself. This has been Rick Berscheid with your Conservation Report.